Every manufacturer seems to have its take on the future of car ownership, whether that's some kind of fancy driverless concept, a pure electric SUV with space for all the family, or a car sharing scheme that will allow you to rent your wheels by the minute, the hour, or more. You name it, someone, somewhere has thought of it. But few are putting their money where their mouth is by commercialising these projects for public consumption, but credit where it's due, Citroen is an exception. This, the all-new Ami, is already on sale in France and can be driven by those as young as 14. But given the current travel restrictions, Paris must wait. We're here in not-so-sunny Coventry to see if Citroen should bring this innovative electric city car to the UK. The idea is simple: cheap, cheerful, zero-emissions transport with everything you do want and nothing you don't. It's tiny and perfect for cities. It's got a 43-mile range, which is enough for 19 laps of the Coventry Ring Road, or to get from one side of London to the other. It will charge from a 3-pin plug in around 3 hours, and Citroen says there is a 75% chance it will come to Britain. But should it? Let's find out. When we said cheap, we meant it. Citroen claims the Ami is for everyone, whether you need the car for 1 minute to 1 year or more, to share, to rent or to buy. You can buy a basic Ami outright in France right now for €6,000, around £5,350, or a top spec one with graphic packs, coloured wheels and roof trims for a little over €1,000 more. But Citroen expects most people will lease one. The cheapest lease plan, with a deposit of around €2,500, starts from under €20 a month. Most people spend more than that on coffee in a week. Citroen will offer the Ami under its Free to Move initiative too, whereby you can rent the 2.4 metre long electric car for as little as 26 cents or 23 pence per minute. But what do you get for your money? Well, the whole everything you do want and nothing you don't mantra has been taken to the extreme. You get a choice of just 4 colours, but you can liven things up with these graphic packs and coloured wheels should you so wish. I can see urban businesses plastering these things in logos and running them around like a moving billboard. These fantastic front doors open in opposite directions, so the passenger side hinges from the front, whereas the driver's side hinges from the back. Now inside, the passenger seat is fixed, but the driver's seat moves sufficiently to accommodate all kinds of body shapes and sizes. I'm 6 foot tall and I've got no trouble fitting here whatsoever. Thankfully, nobody is going to be complaining about that 43-mile range because, in all honesty, you're not going to want to spend any more time in here than that. The interior is pretty Spartan, presumably to withstand the wear and tear of car sharing. Now, in here you do get a mobile phone mount up the front, a very rudimentary set of digital dials behind the steering wheel, a USB slot and a fairly basic heater, but that is your lot. The Citroen Ami gets a 5.5 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery mounted under the floor, but can only be recharged using the domestic socket located in the passenger doorway. To keep costs down, there is no option for faster charging, which may pose problems if you want to charge the car away from home. Still, connect the Ami to a 3-pin plug and you'll top up the batteries to full in just 3 hours. On the road, the Ami feels like little else. It'll do about 30 miles an hour flat out, so we're hitting the limiter at 46, which okay, is a little bit shy of 30, but do you know what? That's plenty for most urban journeys. But the biggest thing perhaps is that it doesn't have that instant acceleration that most EV owners will be used to. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't feel like other road users are making a mockery of you, but it's certainly not fast. Visibility is both good and bad. The wheels have been pushed right out into the corners, so it's not difficult to know where the car is on the road or when you're parking. But there's no rear view mirror, and that rear window is quite small, so you've got to be quite confident about where you're placing it. Added to that, the dashboard is huge, so you actually sit quite a long way back from the front axle, which does take some getting used to. Now, we mentioned parking just then, which is a task that is admittedly made a little bit easier by this car's tight 7.2 metre turning circle. However, the steering is so slow and there is no power assistance, which at times can make it feel quite laborious. But otherwise, the Ami feels quite agile, it feels quite fun. There's loads of body roll, and refinement and comfort, they are not strong suits. These seats are rock hard. But no one's going to be in this car for longer than, say, an hour, so does that really matter? I'm not sure it does. Well, there we have it, the Citroen Ami, an innovative take on the future of urban zero-emissions motoring. Now, we said at the start of this video that Citroen is currently considering whether or not to bring this car to the UK? Well, all things considered, should it? We reckon so. It's cheap and it feels it, but it's cheerful too. It's dead easy to drive, it's even quite fun, but it turns heads, and in an uncertain world, it feels like a breath of fresh air. Are people likely to buy one as their only means of transport? Maybe not. But for an urban-focused business or as a quick and easy rental option, it's fantastic. Thank you, Citroen, for trying something new.
Head to DrivingElectric.com for all the latest electric and hybrid car advice, news and reviews, and check us out on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Finally, while you're here, make sure you hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel and turn on notifications to ensure you never miss a video.